In this video I'll show you how you can reuse any old sink and install it in a stylish and practical way. I'm Marty and welcome to my channel. I will do this by mounting the sink from the bottom of the countertop rather than from the top. It looks much better that way and you have no edge where the dirt gets stuck, so the area around the sink is much easier to clean. Also, you gain additional space since said edge is gone, which is especially useful in small spaces like my tiny house. You start by removing all unnecessary parts from the sink. The sink has some clamps and plastic parts that need to go. Now you can make a mark round about every 10 centimeters. I do every 5 here, but this will turn out to be unnecessary. I will use 2.4 by 16 mm screws, so I drill 2.5 mm here. To get the cutout in the countertop perfect, create a template with a big sheet of paper that you clamp over the sink. Then you can mark the edge with a pencil. In my case this is not necessary because the sink is circular. I can just measure the diameter and use a compass to mark my cut. Mark the desired position of your opening on the underside of your countertop. Before you make the cut, check that the blade of your jigsaw is perpendicular, as this edge is visible and final. One alternative that you can do here is to deliberately cut at an angle. That way the cutout won't fall through the hole and can be used as a lid for your sink. Also choose your blade wisely. If you have tight corners, consider using a blade that is specially made for curves. It is thinner and will be much easier to maneuver in a small radius. I have no need for that here, so I'll go with a normal one. Depending on how skilled you are with the jigsaw, you may want to reduce the feed rate to a minimum or even turn it off. That way your chances of getting a very nice and even cut are higher, although it will take a bit more time and effort. Now start by drilling a hole where you can start your cut. If you want to use the cutout as a lid or to use it for something else, I suggest you make the hole as small as possible and directly at the edge. Before you finish your cut, put something under the cutout so it doesn't fall down and create a tear out on your cut. Remove any uneven parts carefully with a jigsaw and sand it smooth nicely. Now we can already see how it's going to look when it's finished. Before mounting the sink, apply sealing tape to the edge so it sits nice and tight on the wood and no splash water can get between it. Mine here is 4 mm thick because the sink is not perfectly flat and it has to compensate for this edge here. If your sink is nice and flat, you can get away with a thinner one. Cut it into stripes of about 15 mm. To get it around corners easily, make a few perpendicular cuts in these stripes. Clean the edge of the sink and work your way around it with the sealing tape. Now is the time to finally mount the sink. This is a bit tricky since we have to do this bottoms up. I find it the easiest to feel the edge on the inside with my finger and correct the position bit by bit. When it feels even on every side, it probably is. To prevent it from moving, clamp the sink down and start to screw it in place. Here I notice that every 10 centimeters is enough, so I skip every other hole. This is starting to look very nice already. Now we need a hole for the tap. Since this sink already has a designated position for it, I will align it with that. For that I use a Forstner bit that has the same size as the hole and use it to get the exact middle of the hole. I recommend drilling the actual hole from the upside of the countertop, since there is a risk of getting tear out when the hole comes through. To get a nice sharp edge, make a template first so that the Forstner bit doesn't slip, and continue to drill the hole. With the hole done, all you have to do is treat the edge so that it won't draw water and swell. I will do that with linen oil since it is purely organic and gives a nice finish. It takes some time to dry though. And that's how it's done. Just install your tap and then it's another project finished. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'm Marty and I'll see you soon.